Welcome to Strength to Overcome, where we explore faith, pursue truth, and grow stronger together. I'm Matthew Morton. Let's dig in.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the Strength to Overcome podcast. I'm Matthew Morton, your host, and I've been in shock for the entire week. What the hell is happening? A week ago, I posted a clip of me stuffing my sister Nay into a wheelie bin to promote the sibling rivalry episode that we recorded, and it's now coasted past 70,000 views with more comments, shares, reposts, and engagement than the rest of my 57 episodes combined. Now, if I'd known that, I would have stuffed her in there 18 months ago when I started this podcast, because now that clip has essentially become a forever, well, she started it video. And I know this is a faith-based podcast, and I've probably just blown everybody's ears off by saying, what the hell is happening? But all the Aussies listening will understand that's the absolute politest version that I could come up with, given the circumstances. So if this is your first visit, and you thought I'm just going to be pouring through the Bible verses like I've done in some other episodes, don't throw your back out, jumping into the back seat to cover your kids' ears. Just chillax. The Bible verse is coming. But what's funny is nobody's actually contacted me to ask, well, what the hell did she do in the first place to generate such a reaction? And nobody's reached out wondering if my sister is okay or if she's just simply been recycled. But if you're a sibling, you get it. And just for the record, I am the youngest of 5 and I've got 3 older sisters, so you don't want to imagine the hand-me-downs that I got growing up. And by the time I came along as a kid, there were no seats left in the car. I got stuffed in the trunk, the boot, just to get to church and back. And so the youngest child always remembers. And what's odd is so much time that I pour into these podcasts to try and produce something that means something to someone and help someone through a tough time. And this week it's been so tough for me to find those 5 minutes. And maybe it's for a reason. Because I started thinking about Proverbs 17:22 that says, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. And so scripture is confirming that laughter and joy is good for the soul. And maybe this whole thing is a divine appointment, just like those movies that say inspired by true events. Well, today's 5-minute podcast is precisely that. So what can you actually accomplish in 5 minutes? Well, I started thinking, and it's apparently quite a lot. You can create your entire offspring in 5 minutes or less, and I'll let your mind fill in the blanks on what I'm getting at there. Well, maybe someone you know needs 5 minutes of your time. Maybe your kid or your spouse wants 5 minutes of undivided attention. And so I started thinking, a couple of weeks ago, I was working on a client's program one night, and I decided to break up his 60-minute workout into 12 5-minute blocks. And I sent them this long text that had each 5 minutes blocked off, and it was 5 minutes of stalling before you even start, pretending to be on your phone, and 5 minutes of actual leg work, and then 5 minutes of negotiating your way out of the next 5 minutes, and so on and back and forth until the last 5 minutes is negotiating the way out of the building because you've got a meeting you've got to get to. And he actually gave me permission to share it. So ET, you're officially now part of the Strength to Overcome podcast. And of course, as our friendship grows and you become more like an older brother to me, I just politely suggest you watch your back. But underneath all those ridiculous 5-minute segments that we put together, we had a great workout. It was like a kid eating their veggies. It worked out in the end. And it continuously got me thinking, even before this video, of how much time or how little time people actually have. I'm busy, you're busy, we're all running around like blue-ass lizards on ice, just trying to get stuff done. And sometimes I've barely got 5 minutes on the crapper before a kid pokes their head through the door and throws something at me. And sometimes at the end of a long day, or you maybe at the end of your rope, you think, or sometimes it comes out under your breath or loudly, I just need 5 minutes. And so maybe 5 minutes is actually enough sometimes. Now, of course, 5 minutes can absolutely be a bloody long time if you're holding your breath underwater, or if you're hanging off a nail by your eyelid. But I got to thinking about all this, and I went to my treasure chest because I thought of something, and it's a medallion my mum had engraved for me back in 2001, and it says, Matt, the clown of God. And when I found it, I just broke down. Because 25 years later, I'm realizing, my mum never got to see me as a father. She passed in 2021. She never got to meet my kids, and I came across some old VHS tapes as well that reminded me I used to be on stage acting, and I used to love making people laugh, and if I'm being honest, a lot of my report cards as a kid said something along the lines of Matthew disrupting class with humor. And I guess as a kid, that's how I got people's attention. I was good at it. And I got noticed a lot. And maybe I put that part of myself on the shelf because I didn't want humor to be the only thing that I had to offer. I wanted everything to be meaningful. But now I'm realizing maybe I don't have to choose. Maybe I can make the audience laugh, and maybe I can also give them something to think about as well. And when I don't have either of those, I just stuff a sibling in a wheelie bin. And so this is the 5-minute podcast experiment. And if you've made it this far, apparently 5 minutes was enough. And I really appreciate you giving me 5 minutes of your time. Stay strong. I'll catch everyone next episode. Cheers.